Euphoria. That's all I have to say. Just so good. And if you haven't seen it, what are you doing? I'm gonna do a look inspired by Maddie, which I'm probably already sure that I told you in the intro, or I just had a few slow-mo sexy shots. Could go either way, I don't know. Here we have Miss Maddie from Euphoria, and she is a vibe. She is a bad bitch. She is hot girl summer, but she's also a really like sad person, I think. You have to watch the show. The character building, insane, incredible. The shots, cinematography, lighting, everything about the show is perfection. All the makeup looks, like I honestly feel like this show reignited what everyone loves about makeup and how fun it is and how carefree it can be. Really what I saw in the show is it takes it back to a place where everything doesn't have to be precise. Especially when you're in high school, you weren't like, I mean, I don't know what you guys are doing now. I'm sure you're all very advanced. But me, it was like a quick makeup look. I had blue eyeshadow and it wasn't perfectly blended, but that was cool, you know? And I think the show is making that cool again and I'm so inspired. The makeup artist is sickening. I will link her down below. You guys have to follow her. She's so good. And the way she explains why she did certain makeup looks for certain scenes is so beyond extraordinary. I'm just in love with all of it, all of her work. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm done talking. I'm in such a good mood right now because I'm excited to film this. So I'm gonna incorporate purples and pinks, kind of go off of this, but maybe add a little bit of a twist, maybe a little bit more blown out, just whatever I feel is what I'm gonna do. I'm not intending this to be an exact replication, just the vibes. I'm gonna be dipping into this Linda Hallberg palette. This is the Spectral Eyeshadow palette. Kind of perfect for the Euphoria vibes, like hello. And I'm gonna be taking this pink color here. I just love that nothing has to be perfect. This is gonna be so fun for me. I'm just gonna start washing that into the crease, this really pretty pink color. Just to give us a little base of color, blown out look. And also, I don't know if you guys noticed, I tried not to fill in my brows really. I tried to just kind of, just where I'm really bald, and then I put brow gel because none of their brows are done really. Like it looks almost like just the tiniest amount of filling in, but mostly natural. It's just this like really beautiful undone but done makeup vibe on the whole show. Like smudgy, like maybe you were crying earlier. Maybe you were doing a little bit of drugs. This is the show, not me, I'm just saying. That's like the vibe of the makeup. What's this? What the fuck? How long has that been there? And what is it? And then I'm gonna go into the same palette and take Eerie, which is this beautiful purple pastel shade. I think I'm just gonna use the same brush because you know what? If I was in high school, I probably only had one brush. So let's keep with the authenticity here. Okay, I'm just gonna start applying that on the outer. I don't know how much this one's gonna show, but just to start giving the purple tint to the eyes. And again, I'm not worried about it being too neat. I'm like kind of putting it on the lid here also. Now I'm gonna be taking the STILA Sea Siren, the liquid shadow. And if you want like a semi-dupe, this one's just a tiny, tiny bit lighter and it's the Milani Beaming Light. And I'm just going to apply it like lightly on the lid and just use my finger to kind of diffuse it out, give it that like worn in look. Kind of looks more blue, huh? But it looks cool though, right?
It looks cool.
Yeah, this is leaving me a little bit more blue, but it's totally fine. Like I fuck with it, okay? These talons make it a little harder for me to get into my little eyeball here. I'm actually gonna try the Milani one also on it just to see if it makes it look more purple, which I think it is. I think the Milani one is a little bit more purple reflect. Now I'm gonna go in and do Maddie's wing. I love that she's a wing girl. I'm using Bobbi Brown black gel liner and a Sigma eyeliner brush. Another thing Maddie has always is like, well, a lot of the time is like a little inner corner liner. Extends her inner corner, makes it all pointy and cat eye like. So we're gonna make sure to do that as well. Now I'm gonna take the liner and I'm going to follow the point and lightly start sketching out this inner corner. I first extend it, so I made it look longer now in here. See this one? Nothing. Boom. Big difference in the eyes this does. Now it's time for the fun part. It's the rhinestones, and she has rhinestones kind of going from her wing here all the way across the socket. So I have my rhinestones ready, and these are Swarovski crystal rhinestones that you can get at Michael's craft store. I also order rhinestones on Amazon, that's great. And if you want to do detail work, like if you guys saw the winged liner where the rhinestones are really tiny, sometimes I'll get like either nail crystals, and they're still Swarovski because they sparkle more. The nail ones are so tiny, so you could do like really cool detail work. The ones in the photo here are actually pretty large, so I'm just gonna kind of go with the same situation here. I'm using my House of Lash Glue, and I'm gonna pop some on the back of my hand. And I have my velour lash tweezers. I'm gonna speed through this because I need music and I need to get into the vibe. So I laid down all the big crystals. See, this is what I was talking about, little nail crystals. I noticed that she has one tiny one in the inner corner, and I love how dainty it looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these on the inner corner. A little bit, I'm okay.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Honestly, I fucking love rhinestones. I love them. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply some lashes. I notice Maddie always wears a strip lash, and I'm like, well, most of the time, not always, but she does like a good strip, which I'm here for because I am not about to not have lashes. Iconic lights. I actually was zooming in on her pictures, and I thought, are they iconic lights? There's a couple where it looks like it very well could be. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little glue on here, get the party rolling. Tip. Make sure that when you're applying the rhinestones, you look up to see your crease, but then look straight to make sure. Like this one, borderline almost got stuck in the folds, you know what I mean? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take a little bit of mascara and go against the lashes. So usually you would go up, but I'm gonna go towards the inner corner. And that's just gonna give them kind of like a little bit more of a messy and realistic look. Usually works really good with like Ardell lashes if you want to make them look a little bit more real. So for the skin on Euphoria, I noticed that it's not like super contoured. There's not a lot of like cuts. It's all very natural finish. I'm gonna put a little bit of primer on. I'm gonna color correct right here a little bit with the Dragon Beauty color corrector because I've been noticing a little bit of like this gray tone when I take my pick, so hopefully that works. Definitely have to cover that up with foundation. We want a really beautiful natural skin-like base. So for that, I'm using the Pat McGrath foundation. This is in the shade Medium 18, and I mix a little bit of Medium 15 to make it a good shade for me. Okay, I'm gonna go in with my fingers first, like Pat McGrath does, because I want like a really skin-like texture here, patting around this area. I want it to look like my skin, but better. I just got foundation in my eyeshadow and in my lashes. I got reckless, it's the nails. I'm using a brush up here because these nails are like making it a little hard for me. This is a Luxie brush, 610. It's for sculpting, but I find it's really nice for around the brows. This foundation is just everything, honestly. It photographs so nice.
I actually thought the Becca one was your best one on you, but no, the Dior one.
Ooh.
But this one.
Ooh, really? The Dior one's really good. The results are in. Keisha said it. He said this is the best foundation on me. So we have our base on. Oh, I just love it. Look at that. It just looks like skin. And it's so thin. I really love this foundation. Now I'm gonna apply a little bit of concealer. I'm using my NARS Biscuit. I found it since my last video. I don't wanna apply too much concealer because, like I said, undone type of look. This concealer is also pretty close to my skin tone, just a little bit lighter, so it looks more natural also. And then I'm gonna set the concealer with the Pat McGrath powder in light medium. Well, let me make sure I have no creases. For the skin, again, I just wanna leave it like pretty natural, lived in. I'm gonna spray it with some Fix Plus to really just like seep everything in, but I am gonna add some blush, okay? Because I need blush. This is Bobbi Brown Apricot. We're gonna finish off the eyes. Now I need to do that little V in the inner corner. Sometimes it's easier to do with eyeshadow. Just depends on how confident you're feeling. I'm gonna do it with an angled brush and some eyeshadow, I think, because I don't wanna mess up. Taking a black eyeshadow and my Benefit angled brow brush. I'm just gonna apply that in the inner corner. You basically wanna extend and pull it back in like a triangle. And then once you get the shape, you can go back in with a liquid or a gel and really define it, but that's pretty much it. Just like a bringing out and then bringing it back in. I'm gonna take Doors Unlocked. This is by Buxom Cosmetics. It's a purple liner. And I'm gonna run it along the outer lash line. And you wanna smudge it a little bit because again, lived in. I'm just taking a Zoeva 234 brush and I'm just gonna kinda go along those edges. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of my bronzer and just naturally run along the lash line as well. I'm gonna add a little bit of highlight because I did see some highlight, okay? Next thing you know, I'm like, you know what? Let me add a little contour. Let me add a little cut crease. For the lips, I'm gonna be using MAC Spice. And then I'm also gonna use a little bit of CORK. Maddie loves her lip liner. I'm just gonna kind of use Spice to lightly blend that edge out. Using my finger to diffuse it. I'm not gonna put a lipstick color on. Doesn't even look like she's wearing lipstick, but she is wearing gloss. So I'm gonna use Fenty's gloss. This is actually Fussy. Let me see what this one looks like. Good. I wanna eat it. Lastly, when we're done, spray it all with some Fix Plus. All right, so here is my finished Maddie Euphoria inspired makeup look. Catch me wearing rhinestones all the time. I'm so inspired by this makeup. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Chicken claws. Let me know if you want more Euphoria looks because I'm here for it. Thank you so much. Los Angeles. All right, bye guys.